Back in medieval times, knights would fight to protect a king or queen. But when they weren't fending off large armies, they also liked to entertain people by showing off their fighting skills. Sarah went to meet some kids who are keeping this tradition alive by dressing up as knights and engaging in medieval combat.
In a time after school, in a land ruled by the tyranny of homework and video games, a group of knights take arms and fight. For honour, for courtesy, for courage, for fun mostly. Medieval swordplay may not be quite what you expect from an after-school sport, but here at Indes Medieval Swordplay, kids are taught to expect the unexpected.
Out of my way. My way!
Every week they get together to learn how to wield a sword, a spear, a dagger, and a whole bunch of other weapons that you don't see much these days.
This is a halberd. It's not a real one, as you can see. It's made of leather.
So what are you guys doing here?
I'm unarming him so I can defend myself against a dagger and assassination attempts.
Sounds handy. Don't worry, there'll be no real stabbing here. The weapons the kids train with are safe, and they wear protective gear. But in medieval times, learning these moves could have been the difference between life and death.
Well, it's like telling you how to be like a medieval knight, how to behave like one, how to use the techniques, and how to learn how to do battles, and to know more about the history that knights used to do from long ago.
Medieval is a word used to describe a period of European history that lasted from the 5th to the 15th centuries. In that time, Europe was divided into lots of kingdoms. Knights were noble warriors sworn to protect the king.
If there's battle broke out, like the Germans were fighting against the French, for instance, then the French would need to defend their country and their king, which is the most important part. They need to defend their king so that their king can go on ruling.
Knights of old would also display their skills in tournaments, mock battles put on for entertainment, and that sort of thing still goes on today. Around the world, there are many clubs dedicated to learning the art of medieval battle and displaying it at festivals like this. There are also big national and international competitions. And while these modern knights fight for fun, it takes a lot of skill.
Oh, you have to get your footwork, like minor details that people might not think of, but that are major. You have to do the right footwork, you have to do the right sword work. One just minor bad stroke and you might die.
Many of the techniques they use come from ancient sources, which have been preserved and translated.
So this is a book from Bavaria, from Landshut. It's a German book, and it's 1467.
It's one of our manuscripts we use for fighting techniques.
Medieval books also tell of the knight's code of chivalry, a set of values like courage, generosity and courtesy that knights were expected to show at all times. And that's a big part of lessons here.
I think you could learn to be honourable to other people. You could also show courtesy to the rest of the people, especially your family.
Maybe that chivalry is why knights remain so popular in stories, films and TV shows, and why so many kids and grown-ups dream of wielding a sword like knights of old.